Hey everybody, Max Monty 1516 here, back again with another Wooden Railway 2.0 review. So today we are starting off Wave 2 with the brand new released Henry. So, yeah, here he is. Honestly, Wave 2 came out a lot quicker than I was expecting it to be honest. I wasn't expecting to get any of these until fall. And it's kind of interesting that I got Henry before Rebecca. I ordered them the same day, but Henry's here first. So, Rebecca just isn't here yet. She'll be here soon, so expect a review on that. But yeah, I'm very, very happy to have Henry. And of course, here is a look at the box. And I'll open them up there. Very, very nice model. And yeah, let's go ahead and open them up. So real quick, right out of the box, of course, we have a brand new Wave 2 pamphlet. So let's take a quick look. This is really nice, actually. So this shows every single release we have pictures of for the range right now. Of course, we know they are making the All Engines Go characters. There's no pictures of those yet, so. But this is everything in the first two waves. So, of course, we got Thomas and Percy. There's Rebecca, Emily, who is a part of Wave 2. Kenji is also a Wave 2, as well as both Troublesome Trucks. You got Rosie, the other Troublesome Truck. There's our Henry. There's Gordon, James, Hero, Toby, Diesel, Kevin, Nia, and Edward. So, yeah, this is pretty nice. And then on the back, there's a brand new layout with everything you can make in both waves. A couple new things there. You can see the cranky set, as well as the bolster that comes with that. And there's just every engine you can get. So honestly, this is a really nice pamphlet. I always like seeing these included. So yeah, it kind of brings me back to the older Wooden Railway. It really feels like a premium brand now because, Wood and later Wooden Railway just didn't have pamphlets at all. So just a quick tangent. I like pamphlets. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Henry. So, first impressions out of the box. I am very, very pleased with this model. He looks fantastic. So, first thing you'll notice here probably is that he's got a new wheel configuration, and this is the same as the other big tender engines in the range. Henry now shares a new wheel configuration with Rebecca, Hero, and Gordon. So yeah, Henry looks really, really good. So starting off with the face there, I like this face. It looks pretty good. Kind of looks like he's nervous, maybe? Or like nervous laughter, I don't know. That's the first thing I got when I saw the face. I guess it's just the way the eyebrows are positioned and all. Not really sure, but it's an interesting expression. I don't dislike it though. So of course he also has a buffer beam right there, as well as the running board detail, some pistons, very nice. And he's also got these splashers right there, and it is accurate with the third one not being complete and just kind of going up to the firebox area. The firebox is done really nicely. I like that a lot. The cab is a pretty good size, and of course we've got this firebox glow like the rest of the engines in the range. There is a handrail there. He's got his dome and safety valve up here, as well as handrail, stripe detailing, all the stops. This is really, really nice. So yeah, overall Henry looks really accurate, really aesthetically pleasing. I like this model a lot. So he also feels very quality, quality wood, for example. This is just a really heavy item. Same way Gordon and Hero feel, especially. So, you can just feel that there's a lot of passion put into this new range and all. Really, really big fan of Henry. And while there's not as much to say about the tender, I'll still show it in good detail. What's interesting to note is that Henry actually has rivets here, which is cool, but also odd because, as we know, in Season 23, they gave the engines a bunch of new rivets and stuff, and that is a controversial decision, but I didn't really hate it, and they decided to translate all those rivets onto the new merchandise, including this new Wooden Railway. So, what's interesting to note is that the new model of Henry has rivets, while his CGI render never actually got them. So I guess this is kind of a way to show where Henry would have gotten rivets if they would have given him on the CGI render. So that's just something to note. As you can see there's some rivets along the bottom of the tender there. A nice big number 3. The tender is shaped really nicely. There's a look at the coal load. And yeah, of course, tender lining, all that. And it's got 6 wheels like it should. Very, very nice. And of course, it's the same way on the other bigger tenders. So overall, I mean, Henry just looks absolutely fantastic. He's a massive engine, and I absolutely love that. So, yeah, let's go ahead and do some comparisons now. So the first comparison I'm going to make here is the 2022 model versus the previous incarnation, that being the 2013 model, both, of course, being the original wooden railway. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now, the faces, honestly, I'm going to say I prefer the 2013 edition just a little bit more. And yeah, I just don't mind the footplate that I painted. It was like 8 years ago, so, you know, just pretend pretend it's not there. Anyway, both the faces, in my opinion, are pretty good. Though I will say, I think the 2013 model is just a bit more accurate. It looks happier. Again, like, I'm not entirely sure what they were going for with the face on the 2022 model. I mean, I don't hate it, but, you know, it's just kind of interesting. So, yeah, anyway, looking at the sides now, as you can see, there are some major differences. First of all, the wheel configuration, as you can see, Henry now has an accurate wheel configuration, that being the 6 drive wheels and the 4 smaller wheels there at the front. So, of course, another thing is the splashers. That's a huge difference. I'm very happy we have those now. That's a pretty big contribution, in my opinion. I like that a lot. And it's much better than just this wimpy little painted-on version here on the original model. So, looking at the boilers now, as you can see, there are also some major differences. And honestly, something I find pretty bizarre is that they never added a top feed to the 2013 model. And I don't think it was on any other model in the entire wooden railway range. And I never noticed that until I got this new Henry. So that's just really odd. And the dome is way too small, honestly. So I'm really glad that the 2022 model rectifies these issues. So as you can see, the dome is clearly a lot bigger and in the correct place. And we now have a top feed there as well. Of course, the handrails are also longer. They extend all the way across the boiler, which is something I also like. The firebox is much bigger, and the cab is just a little bit smaller, whereas the firebox is much smaller and the cab is much bigger on the 2013 model. So looking at the cabs too, as you can see, there is a pretty big difference. Of course, so the rivets and handrails are lacking on the old model. And as you can see, the new details such as the firebox glow is also just not there. So I really like these little additions. They just really bring the model full circle for me. I am very, very happy to actually have this 2022 Henry model. So now, really quickly, I'm going to take a look at the tenders. As you can see there, there's not too much of a difference. Yeah, I mean, of course, the new model here is bigger. It's a lot bigger. There's also a step ladder there that I missed at my first look, but yeah, I like that little detail. So yeah, the number 3 is much bigger. The coal load is actually a little bit bigger as well. It's longer, obviously to fit the much longer tender, as you can see there. And of course, while the wheels are smaller, they're now more accurate in terms of wheel configuration. The third model of Henry I'm going to take a look at is, well, I'll let you see for yourself. It is the saddest model of Henry, quite frankly, I've ever seen. It's the wood model, so there you go. Anyway, now for a comparison. As you can see, there's the faces. I mean, just look how much smaller the wood model is. It's just so sad. So yeah, the faces are interesting here. I think the eyes look really weird on the wood model. I don't know if that's just me, but yeah. Anyway, looking at the sides, I mean, it's no comparison. These are only 4 years apart, and that's just something I think is mind-blowing. So yeah, as you can see, not even the wood model, and the wood models do have more detail, or I guess they have worse proportions, but they have more on them. I don't know, it's weird to describe. But anyway, there are no rivets or handrails or firebox glow or anything. This second window is also absent on the wood model as well, which I actually am kind of surprised at. But yeah, the firebox is so small, it's almost non-existent. And the boiler itself is just really weirdly shaped. Like, they have this, like, very odd cut in the wood there, where you'd think a handrail could go, but no, it's just painted on there. Interestingly enough, there is a top feed and a dome. They're outlined in silver for some reason, and they aren't painted, so yeah. Anyway, I mean, honestly, it's just a no-brainer, of course. why would anyone prefer a wood model over this? I couldn't tell you. So yeah, just something to think about. And also, of course, the tenders. I mean, just look at that. One of my biggest problems with wood is that the tenders are just blocks. They didn't even make unique tenders at all, which really, really rubs me the wrong way. Never been a fan of that. So yeah, I mean, it's almost like a complete third missing, like, in the length. And that is just very strange to me. So yeah, of course, it's just a lot smaller. There's not even a physical coal piece up there. It's just, honestly, all I can say is that it's pathetic. So yeah, never really liked wood, and I definitely think that the 2022 model is a major step up. There's one last thing I wanted to show, and if I just bring up the brand new Gordon here, or I guess not brand new anymore, it's been out for a couple months now, but these two look fantastic together, and honestly, this is one of the strongest suits of the range. They're such grand looking engines. I love both of these models so much. So yeah, I just thought it would be cool to put them together and just kind of show what they look like side by side. And that's pretty much all I have to say for Henry. This review has been a lot of fun to make. I'm a huge fan of Henry, as I've said multiple times now, and I'm really looking forward to doing the rest of Wave 2 and taking a look at him. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you all for watching, and have a great day. Max Monty 1516 signing out.